Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Calcinez, and welcome to Cal's Micro Company. Right now we'll continue on with the Onshape with more features and continue on with new tools now. Now, on this right here, this problem, I have done it right away because again, it's not that difficult right now. You should understand the concept, like how you go back and forth from those lines, how to use dimensions, and how you actually approach it with other new tools and features. But this is just a basic one right now. I just trace along the way with the lines, just going from here to the step 1 to step 3 right here. Stop from there, do the bit dimensions. Going from the step 4 to step 6, same thing again, dimension out. You're good to go. Now, the next one I'm going to do is this line right here. So I'm going to bring this guy up here. I'm going to show you something a little more different. So we can bring this up here, and then actually you can actually get the dimension from this one. But on this blueprint right here, or on this Onshape, each one of the softwares that you'll encounter will have a secondary hand. So what that means is that there'll be another secondary person that will help you on the software to actually find out where to actually locate. Like for example, making a parallel line, perpendicular line, find the center point of the line, for example. Which if I was to go over here, go at the center of this line right here, and I'm gonna bring this along. You guys see a yellow hidden line, and it'll give you the exact same height. Some of the other softwares will have that too as well, but they'll indicate a little more different how they approach it. Like they'll have a blue hidden line, a gray hidden line, etc, etc. Now for this one right here, we're gonna go to the end of this point right here, this edge or the corner, bring it out here, and it'll activate that secondary hand. And once you got that one, it'll be perfectly vertical and perpendicular. You got to see the indication, those letterings right here, the one that disappeared. I'll give you the indication that it's already parallel, it's already horizontal and vertical. So I'm gonna click it right here, and that'll activate it. I'm gonna bring this over here on the outside, which I'll do that dimension later on. Bring it down here, that'll give me the exact height. And now that what we would do is finish the last one. There we go. So I'm gonna cancel my command on escape. Click on the dimension. Click this line right here. It's gonna be 0.25. Enter. And there we go. Now we're done with this one. I'm gonna extrude it. And this is gonna make it perfectly symmetric in the middle right here. So go to blind. Well, actually, no. I'm gonna use blind symmetric, and it's gonna be about 1 inch. And I'm gonna select this line, or we're gonna select the part that we created. Select that one until it turns yellow. Until everything else is perfectly symmetric. And that one, and we're good to go. Okay, now the next one. So the next one we're going to learn is the circular command. So I'm going to try this top view right here in this section. Go on top view, and that's it. Now I don't remember, or actually let's see here. I'm going to go back to features. Oh, right. So go back to sketch. This area right here, the square plane. Once we have that, I'm going to put a point right here to indicate where our hidden line is. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to dimension it out from this point to this horizontal line, and that's going to be 0.5. Same one, this point to this vertical line. So now you have two directions to actually make it perfectly centered. Now we're going to click right here. I'm going to do is cancel it, and I'm going to use the hole feature. So this whole feature is another one that you can actually use. So there's different holes out there with a simple, counterbore, and countersink. What does that mean is that on most of the time when you see it in reality, you'll see holes that is like straight slot, which is perfectly straight through. So if you're drilling a hole, that's straight through. You'll have some that's chamfer with a angle from the inside. That's one you use for bolts that has a steep angle to make it perfectly flush onto a base or a base of material. So that will have a concave. The other one will have a counterbore, which is a straight slot hole from one's gonna be a normal hole that'll cut through, but there'll be a secondary hole that's a little bit larger, and that's gonna be used for a countersink to hide in any bolts or any other fixtures as it be used on that one. So I'm gonna show you that one right now. So this one right here, our first one's gonna be about, counterbore diameter is gonna be about, let's see here. Okay, our counterbore is gonna be about 0.5. Enter that one. And this one's gonna be about 0.25, our hole, which is the through, that's gonna cut through right away. And this one is gonna be through all, so I'm not gonna worry about that. This right here, we do have to worry about that. Our depth is gonna be about 0.125. Enter. I'm not gonna do blind, I'm gonna do through. That's the one where I'm gonna activate it, so it'll give me just instructions only. That's it. Once you set in your dimensions in this area, the custom area, I'm gonna do is go over here, click this one, the center point that we created, and that's it. That's your selection that you want to choose that point. Once we got that one, check it, and this is what it looks like. So that's your counter bore. That's what we want. That's what it looks like right here. This counter bore. So there'll be a bolt that'll slot through right here, and this will be perfectly flush inside of it. Now, what happens if I use the other functions, which I'm gonna edit? I'm gonna use not counter bore. What happens if I use countersink? Vice versa, it's gonna be 0.125. Our inch is gonna be about 0.5, and our degrees, I want to make about 45 degree. Or I can make it like less than that, it's gonna be 85. And that's what it looks like from the countersink right here. So it's kind of have an angle from the inside for a countersink bolts. So I'm gonna use my counter bore, check it, there we go. Last one I'm gonna do is this sketch right here, and this against this wall. Right click it, and this is gonna be a normal circle. I'm gonna use my circle right here, go straight in the middle of it, which it'll activate it right away. Click right there, I'm gonna click my dimension. It's gonna be 0.75. Enter, and that's my diameter. Check it, and I'm gonna use this remove. That's gonna be through all, because it's gonna go all the way through. It's gonna be the same dimension right away. So I'm gonna select this guy right here and this one. That way it'll cut all the way through. Check it. There we go. Now we're done. Now we made our first component. Now let's go to the next step right now. So we're now picking up the pace to actually begin our first other dimension and drawing. So what I'm gonna do is go to my next drawing, and this one's gonna be easy. So I'm gonna do my sketch, front plane. I'm going to create my center lines. I'm gonna click the line and center line. I'm gonna select this origin right here. I'm gonna go straight horizontal. That's it. There's no dimension. Don't worry about anything else on this guy right here. So there's no dimension. What I'm gonna do is create my shape down here, but I'm gonna go away from that hidden line. Go right here on the vertical of that point and go straight down. Go to my right, go up, go to my right, go up. I'm gonna match up my height from here. It's gonna activate that one. Click this one on this horizontal, and there we go. Okay, now I'm gonna add in my dimension. It's gonna be about 1.5. Enter. There we go. This one's gonna be about 2 inches. Enter. Nope, that's the wrong way. So I want to lock this guy right here. I'm going to click that line. Over here, you have these relations right here. So on these relations, it should have a lock. So I'm going to have it, let's see here. If it doesn't say, I'm going to right click it to see if it does have that. No, it doesn't have that. That's interesting. I want to lock it, but for some reason it's not giving me the option to do that. Let's see. Right click it. That's interesting. Oh, okay. I'm gonna select this one right here and this hidden line. I looked at my blueprints. It did give me the option. I'm gonna select these two right here. I'm gonna bring it inside right here. Actually, I can see that. 0.25, enter. And that'll give me my distance. And then from here, it's gonna be 2 inches. And that will go the other way around. So we're good to go. So that was my fault. I didn't see that one. So from this line right here, we're going to type in 0.75. There we go. Last one's this guy, is going to be about 0.5. Sure. There we go. Now we got that one next. Next one we're going to do is add in the... Now we're going to learn the next step. So I'm going to complete it. Now, previously we learned how to extrude it this direction, right? From the going front and back, or to the horizontal and vertical direction, to create a blocky cube. Today we're gonna learn how to actually make our cylinders. So traditionally we can actually do circle by circle to actually build it up from there, but that's time consuming. If we visualize it carefully and know the blueprint very well, and we can actually do a shortcut path, we can actually use other features to actually complete this task faster. So what we're going to learn is the revolve. So the revolve is actually making the shape a 360 degree with the same shapes of a circle but in a faster pace. So I'm going to select this guy right here, which it says revolve, and it says faces and sketches to select, which is this guy we created. Revolving axis will be the center line. So without any indication with the center line, if it's hidden or solid, you don't have an indication to actually activate this mode right here. And we want full as 360. You can change these in whatever direction you want, either symmetric one direction or two directions. Either way, but right now it's gonna be full, so it'll be 360. And I'm gonna do is check it, and there we go. We create our first revolving component. So the revolve is the same thing as the extrude. You can actually add it in, you can subtract it both ways. So I'm going to show you now. The next one is going to be subtract. So the next one I'm going to do is add another component. I'm going to do new sketch, and it's going to be on the front plane. So always put it on the front plane. If you're saying that, how do I put it on this surface? You cannot put any planes on a curved surface because it's always a lot of planes, but in a very small scale. Because most of the circles will have a small lines inside of it. You can't really tell. That is 1,000 or 2,000 more lines to actually create a circle. So that's the reason why. But we choose front, so that will be our first indicator that you can begin your design right away. So I'm going to go to front view. I'm going to change this solid into a hidden view or translucent. So I'm going to try translucent with edges. See here, visible. Like this. Oh. And it should be translucent. There we go, translucent, and that will give me this indication right here. There we go. I almost got lost from there. Okay, once you got this translucent and we have the front view already set up, what I'm gonna do is over here, I'm gonna add in my triangle. So I'm gonna add in a triangle right in the middle right here. Let's see here. Our point for the first one is gonna be right here on that line. Oops, this doesn't give me the line. This one's gonna be tricky on Onshape most of the time because it's very hard to actually get that exact point on here because we actually added in our new feature. So I had to do it traditional wise. So it's gonna be about, let's see here. It's gonna be a long play. So because Onshape is a little more complicated, you have to input your own dimensions on here. Rather the other softwares, which is like SolidWorks and Inventor, you can actually input your points right here, and that'll be faster. But Onshape, it doesn't have that function because I don't know what's the reason they don't want to include that one. But you have to input those numbers. So it was like 2 inches plus the 2.25. Enter. Then we import our other horizontal right here, this direction. I added my dimension. It's going to be 0.5. Enter. I'm going to transfer that one into a one. I'm going to transfer this line into construction. And there we go. Because again, we had to make it old-fashioned way manually. I'm not sure why they don't want to include that one. So I'm going to put these 2 points right here. I'm going to use my dimension. Wrong one. I'm going to click this point and this corner. It's going to be about 0.138. Enter. This one's the same thing, 0.138. Enter. And then I'm going to add in my lines from here to here. I'm going to make my other line angled out. So I'm going to bring it out here. I'm not going to worry about adding in the dimension because there's no actual dimensions. I'm going to pass this line the same thing again. Sorry, I'm having a candy in my mouth. Make this angle again. And this one right now, we're going to add in our dimensions. It's going to be from this line to this one. It's going to be about 20 degrees. We're going to add in this line and hopefully this one. Good. It's gonna be 20 degrees. There we go. Now, we got the triangle. Now we have to get rid of these excess mess. This one we can actually do is by trimming it. So we have the scissor symbol, which is trim. I'm gonna activate that one, and I'm just gonna cut this line right here. So I gotta click on that one, click on this line. There we go. Now we're done. Most of the other softwares, it'll have the other function, which is this one right here, trim. I'm gonna hold down. I'm gonna select right here this area. Hold down my left button, and I'm just gonna trace along the way. And then you guys see it. It actually delete those ones right away. So now you have to worry about those clicking it one by one. You can actually drag it and then just trace along those lines that you want to delete the excess material. Okay, let me deactivate it. Check it. Now we got this right here. Now I'm gonna do the same process, revolve, and it's gonna be the same one, but I'm gonna select the sketch 2. That'll activate that one. My axis is gonna be the cylinder. There we go. So I'm gonna select the cylinder. We're good to go. I'm gonna remove it, and that'll remove the excess material. I'm gonna transfer this translucent to shade. And there we go. Now we have a part that has a groove in the middle. Okay, next one. It's going along just fine. Okay, good. Next one, we're gonna add in our circle right here. So I'm gonna go to sketch. I'm gonna select this surface right here. So I'm gonna go to my other view. I'm gonna select this surface right here only, not this one, because you get confused. Select this surface only right here. This cylinder right here, this larger one. I'm gonna select that one. It's already activate to sketch 3. Go to my right view, and now you'll see. Well, actually, I'll explain that later on. Okay. Now I'm gonna do is activate my circle. I'm gonna bring it out here in the middle of this drawing. Just make the dimension of it. I'm gonna get my dimension. I'm gonna go from this center to this center, and this one's gonna be about 1.5. Enter. And our dimension for the circle is gonna be about 0.729. Enter. And that'll activate our circle. Oh, actually, that's the wrong one. Okay, sorry. Go back to it, double click it, 0.5, enter. There we go, that's correct. Okay. That's it. Next one I'm gonna do is check. I'm gonna do is extrude, cut that hole. Extrude, remove. This is gonna be that circle that we created. And I want it to through all. Check it. There we go. Now, we want to repeat the same one again on this direction right here. There's 2 ways you can do that. One's going to be on the sketch. You can actually have the patterns do to repeat the same thing again. And you have to repeat the whole process again with the cutting. But that's going to be time consuming. But there's another shortcut which is on here on the linear pattern. So we have these 2 patterns. Same thing as the sketch, but this is way much faster. It'll do it with the features on this part. So I'm going to choose the circular pattern. Entities of pattern will be the one extruded 1. I'm going to select that. Hopefully it does that. Nope. Okay. Actually, entities of pattern. Features should be the one. Sorry. No. Circular shape right here. Part 1. Axis of pattern will be the circular pattern. That's so weird. It should have been like this circular only. That's it, but I'm not sure why it's not doing that. Let's try this way. 3 extrude. Weird. Axis will be the circular pattern right here. That's interesting. Alright then. I'm not sure why it's not doing that. So most of the other softwares, it'll like you can select the features only. That's it, and it'll automatically select it right away. And also with this the axis too as well. Do the same thing. You can just select the circular direction, and that will activate that one. But for the Onshape, it's a lot more trickier because other softwares varies and it's way much more different. So now this one, I'm going to add in my number for the instance count. That's going to be 6. Enter. And that will give me these 6 slots. And my angle or the entire full area is going to be 360. So I want it to be full, and it's going to be equal spaces. Once I'm done, I'm gonna press check, and that should activate this one, which is not letting me do that. Weird. Okay, some reason it's not letting me do that, which is the part I don't like about this one, is that it doesn't actually let me do that. Pattern, supposed to be features, supposed to be this guy right here. There we go. That's the one I want. Oops. That's the guy I want, is the features of pattern. One, this guy right here. This guy right here. That's so weird. Extrude. Features. Okay, this guy right here. Axis to pattern will be the circle right here. Turn. 6. This is so weird. I don't get that. Okay. Maybe that pattern. Remove. Maybe the features. Access the pattern will be this. Here, there we go. Okay. I think they kind of added new features, but it's okay. It's okay. So it's gonna be the features of pattern will be the ones that we created on those features, and then it's gonna be the remove features. It's gonna be extruded one, which is the one we select to extrude it. Base to revolve will be this surface right here. 6 equal spaces and the 360. Once you got that one, check it. There we go. So now it should give you this option right here. So kind of be careful on your side if it varies differently on how you or which one you selected. It's gonna be way much more trickier than it be. And that's it. That's all we did for now. So now we learned a lot more how to use more tools this time, and now we learn furthermore to actually how you use the revolve, much more shortcuts instead of just doing traditional wise. To actually go back and forth, just doing circles, build it up from the base using circles, extrude, do another angle, extrude, etc., etc. Because again, you're building up from a different direction. But this way is way much faster because since we have the revolve with all the blueprints, it'll be faster right away. So it'll be just like a quick instance. So, okay. Hope you guys like this one right now. We'll continue next on with another part and project, and we'll learn a lot more tools later on in the future. So, that's all I have for today. For now, goodbye.